Hey everybody, Karen from Master Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are going to be asking the Lead Team Collective for answers to your questions about the Committee of 300. I know we've been talking about that, but I did in a couple other episodes, but I did put a call out, and I want to honor, because you probably have very different questions of things that I've been talking about. Or things that I might have been asking the lead team. So today I'm going to read a little intro, all right? And it's based on, so you get an idea of what we're going to be talking about in terms of what the questions were. And then I have, let's see, we've got 40 community questions, all right? So, like I said, community members submitted questions about the Committee of 300, hidden power structures, media influence, surveillance, sovereignty, awakening, fear, control systems, and humanity's future. So that's kind of what the questions were related to. The Committee of 300 is a theory popularized by John Coleman that suggests a small network of powerful individuals, institutions, financial interests, corporations, and political actors work together behind the scenes to influence world events. Supporters of the theory believe many of the divisions we see in politics, media, finance, education, technology, and culture may be influenced by the same underlying power structures, regardless of which political party appears to be in control, which is why I find this topic interesting. So my understanding from reading about this sort of thing is they have a vested interest in keeping us divided in our political views so that they can continue to do what they do behind the scenes, basically. Okay, so I think it's, whether this is true or not, I think it's important for us to recognize that the entire world's political system may have an invested interest in keeping the people divided. So I think that's important to at least be considering. Okay. So others believe the theory identifies some real concentrations of power, but overstates how coordinated they are. Okay. Still, others believe the theory is misunderstood or attributes too many unrelated events to a single source. So those are different opinions coming within our community. So what makes this topic interesting is that the questions quickly move beyond the Committee of 300 itself and into much bigger questions about influence, manipulation. Sorry, my sister's texting me. Influence, manipulation, fear, sovereignty, awakening, and how power actually operates in the modern world. So this episode will explore whether the Committee of 300 accurately describes a real system of influence, a misunderstood idea, maybe an exaggeration, or some combination of all three. So those are what your questions are going to get at, okay? Which I just love so much. I really do, because it'll help us get to just, can't really ever get to the bottom of something, because there's just so many different truths and so many different perspectives, but interesting all the same. Hopefully it just helps us to know where to put our energy, Do we keep it in division? And I know there's a lot of conversation about what division versus unity means as well, and maybe we'll have a conversation about that. I might do a call out on that sometime. Okay, so I have a little prayer and then we'll ask your questions. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the Lead Team Collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the Lead Team Collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team. Thank you so much for being here and partnering with us. They're saying yes. Okay, so I'm going to do the law of challenge because I haven't chatted with them today. So, in the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. And in the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Let's see. I am going to do this. I'm probably going to do this like once a week. Let me just do... Okay, so let's just do this once a week. I ask on behalf of our community that all lower energies, attachments, interference, deception, confusion, or influences not aligned with divine love and truth be removed from this space, my space right here, your space, if you wish that to be, so just give it permission right now, and our community here, and escorted into the light. I ask now, nope. I've got a couple different versions here I'm trying out. Let's see. I ask that only truth, clarity, wisdom, and guidance for our highest good be allowed within my space, your space, and our community. And so it is. Okay, so lead team, are all beings present of the highest and purest light? Although I just did the challenge, so I don't think I need to ask that again. Okay. So at least maybe once a week, we'll scoot along the lower energies. Let's just scoot them along. Just gonna, just to remind them, go scoot away somewhere else. Okay, all right. I didn't intend to do that, but I thought, you know what, once a week, maybe on Sundays. It's Sunday today. I'll just do it on Sundays. Okay, so lead team, we've got questions here regarding... a whole bunch of stuff. The Committee of 300, influence, manipulation, media, all that kind of stuff. Are any of these questions not for our highest good? No. Okay, so all of these questions are helpful to us to understand? Yes. Okay. All right, question number 1. Is the Committee of 300, do you know who we're talking about? That's described by John Coleman. Okay. Is the Committee of 300, as described by John Coleman, a real functioning body? Yes. Is it actually do they call themselves the Committee of 300? Oh, wow. Yes. Is that the information that John got that was in that top secret file that he received or he had access to? Yes. Okay. Is Coleman's book based on mostly accurate information? They're saying yes. Is his book 100% accurate information? No. Would you say it's 75%, at least 75% accurate information? Yes. Okay. Would you say it's at least 90% accurate information? Wow. Yes. Okay. Is there currently a small group exerting extraordinary influence over global events? Yes. Does the Committee of 300 theory accurately describe how power operates in the world today? Yes. Is this Committee of 300 the body that is currently panicking about losing control? Yes. Are they actually panicking about losing control? Yes. Okay. Do you actually see this committee of 300 being dismantled? Yes. Within the next 10 years? Like 2026 to 2036? Yes. Will it be dismantled before 2036? Yes. Okay. Wow. Will it be clear to us when they are dismantled? Yes. Wow. This is going to be very interesting. Very interesting times, guys, don't you think? Okay. Is part of the Committee of 300 theory misunderstood? Yes. Is it misunderstood by our community? No. Okay. So the conversations we've been having on the book, I've been reading out of the book a little bit and having conversations. Is that accurate? Yes. Okay. Is part of the Committee of 300 theory exaggerated? Yes. Okay. Always good, right? Again, gray everywhere, you guys, right? Would you say the 10% of his book that's not accurate is the exaggerated part? Yes. Is the other 90% exaggerated as well as part of his book? No. Yeah, I'll list his book in the description below, you guys, if you want to take a look. It's pretty good. I mean, it's an easy, interesting read if you're interested. Okay, just make sure you stay very grounded when you're reading it. Okay, so they're saying no, that 90%. So 90% of his book is accurate and not exaggerated, I guess. I don't know what's the opposite of not exaggerated. So yes. Okay. Did John Coleman correctly interpret what he was observing? Yes. And he did research after his initial discovery. Is that correct? Lots of research, you guys, like 20, 30 years of research, like lots and lots of research. He basically dedicated his life to it. So, yes, which, when someone does that, I think it's worth paying attention to. Why would he dedicate his life to it? And it's not like he had social media, to make millions of dollars, being a conspiracy theorist at that time. So, I don't know. What would have been his motive, if it wasn't? Like, why would he spend his entire life doing it if it wasn't to help humanity? They keep saying yes. Let's see. I guess we could talk to, is John, let me look. Is he still alive? I guess I could have asked them, but no. So he died in 2012, you guys. So I think we're going to have a conversation with him tomorrow night. I think I'm going to do a pendulum reading with him. If you didn't catch the pendulum reading with the Supreme Leader of Iran, I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was from a spiritual, for my own spiritual growth. I thought it was really good personally. So if you haven't had a chance to catch that, I did a Q&A, your guys' questions with the Supreme Leader of Iran. I'll post that one here at the end of this video, and then down here in the corner I'll put the pendulum reading. I thought it was great. It was like one of the better ones, I thought, in terms of having a conversation. And I did ask, I'm going to start asking them questions. In fact, I asked you to tell me what kind of questions you would ask. And I'm going to go through the comments and get some of those. But I asked him how he would describe our community. So, like in one word, how would he describe it? So you'll have to go check it out. I'm not going to tell you what he said. It's kind of cool. Okay, so let's see. I got to get back to my questions. Yeah, I will do a pendulum reading with him next. I think that'll be good. See what he has to say now. Would would a different explanation, other than what John Coleman describes as the Committee of 300, would a different explanation fit some of the same observations? Yes. So that's good to know. A different explanation fits some of the same observations. So I don't quite know how to expand on that. If you guys have additional questions, please put them in the comments. Do the same power structures remain influential regardless of which political party is in office? Yes. Yes. Are political divisions sometimes used to distract people from larger issues? Yes. Let me ask this. Are political divisions always used to distract people from larger issues? Yes. Or is it used also to distract people from the truth? Boy, oh boy, are we just getting to a point where we just want the truth about things, you guys? Anybody else feeling that? But again, just like the lead team gave us last month in our self-care message, the truth is different at different levels of consciousness. So is that even possible to get to the truth? Is it even possible? Okay, the lead team's saying yes. Let's see. Our political divisions, we did that, could increased public awareness reduce the influence of powerful institutions? Yes. Is personal data one of the most valuable resources in the modern world? Yes. Entertainment purposes only and allegedly. I don't want to create fear out of that, but just keep in mind, you guys, they have all the information they need at this point. So, I mean, if you don't think your phone is listening to you, if you haven't had proof of that yet on your own, we've definitely had proof of that. So, even just using Siri and Alexa, yeah, it is what it is. Okay. Are subscriptions, logins, and digital accounts partly about data collection and behavioral tracking? Yes. Kind of always known that too, just it's, because let's just say, is it for nefarious reasons though? Yes and no. Okay. So we've always known it's been about advertising, right? It's been about consumerism. Yes. And I think people are starting to fear that they're going to be using it, our governments are going to be using it against us. Is that going to be the case? No. Would it be the case if we weren't waking up? Yes. Okay. So they could do that, but they're not going to be able to. Is that what you're saying? Yes. All right. Well, that's good. The only reason I know about like that data collection and the behavioral tracking is because my first business that I had where I was selling printables, we did a lot of that, even when you sign up for our newsletter, we could track things through the newsletter. Anytime you click on a link, okay, so this is just good for you to know. When you click on somebody's newsletter links, they can track how many people clicked on that link. So then they know who was interested in that. Then they could also, if you clicked on it, we don't do this, but just because we don't have the time to, and we don't go that deep within our newsletter, it's just to kind of keep in touch with you, and give you a little bit of information and, whatever. But we could know your email address that clicked on a link, and we could create a separate list within our newsletter system and create a separate list and then send you things specific to that topic if we wanted to go that deep. But that's been going on forever, you know. So that's why I know kind of how that works, because I've been on the back end of that. So, you know, but again, that's been going on for years and years and years and years and years, you know, so probably decades. Okay. Are people being conditioned to accept increasing levels of surveillance? Yes. Well, let me ask, have people been conditioned to accept increasing levels of surveillance? Yes. Does that mean that we are going to experience scary levels of surveillance by our government? No. Okay. Like military level, I mean, more than what it's been. Does that mean no? Okay. Again, may not be asking the right questions that you're interested in, so let me know, okay? I mean, this is a whole nother topic, this surveillance thing. We've gone off, and I mean, this is not really committee. Well, yeah, I mean, the committee of 300 would be in charge. Is the committee in 300? Yeah, they're really wide swing on that. Does the committee of 300 want to surveil as much as possible? Yes. Okay. Are media narratives being shaped more than most people realize? Yes, 100%. In all channels. Yes. What about alternative media? Is that being shaped as well? Yes. Yes. Is fear one of the primary tools used to influence public behavior? Yes. Are people becoming more aware of manipulation through media, technology, and institutions? Yes. So would you say that, is it by generation, awareness by generation? Yes. So would you say the least aware generation at this point about how media is manipulating? Do you guys know who I'm going to ask about? A lot of you are of that generation, but doesn't mean you are, but the generation in general. And it kind of makes sense to me because of how technology is used. So would you say the baby boomers are the least aware of the manipulation through media, technology, and institutions? It only makes sense. It's not a diss on them at all. Yes, only because I'm aware of this stuff only by 2 years, just because I got on YouTube and was listening to different people and different perspectives. So yes, the lead team's like, yes, you know. So then you would say Gen X is the next generation that is the least aware of the manipulation. Yes. And it just, I mean, that's, again, I think it just, that goes with anything. Just as Gen X, just as the baby boomers were more aware than their parents were of other things, right? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But that's called evolution. All right. Is humanity being pushed towards greater sovereignty through exposure to these systems? Yes. Is humanity being pushed to greater sovereignty in smaller communities? Yes. Is that because that's what humanity wants? Like the collective actually wants that? Yes. So that, will we have a more likely chance of being individually sovereign in smaller sovereign communities? Yes, which, kind of only makes sense. I think, on the surface level anyways, as I'm thinking on the surface level about it, is awakening to manipulation an important part of humanity's growth? Yes. Is that one positive thing that we can attribute to technology? Yes. Will the awakening increase because of AI? Yes. Or will the awakening decrease because of AI? No. Okay. Let's see. Are we witnessing the weakening of older systems of power and control? Yes. Will humanity eventually move beyond systems of centralized control? Yes. Is that why we consider that the golden future? Is that the golden future? Yes. Does moving into higher consciousness naturally reduce the influence of fear-based systems? Boy, that makes so much sense to me. Yes. Because the more I understand, the higher my consciousness is, the less fear I have. Like I'm experiencing that myself. And I don't need to be like, it's not like I'm floating around in the clouds or anything. I just don't have the fear that I had like 15 months ago before I started understanding more of these things. I actually was in way more fear not understanding things, And I don't even think I have the, quote unquote, the truth, but I have a way better perspective of what truth might actually mean, So I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but okay, 23. Is there a split occurring between different levels of awareness within humanity? Yes. Is it safe to say that that split has always occurred? That there's always, like humanity, again, generation to generation, the consciousness rises from one generation to the next. So, yes. So, is this anything new for humanity, I guess is what I'm asking. No. Is awakening more powerful? Is the awakening we're going through right now more powerful than political change alone? Yes. Yes. Yeah, the political system would be very, very different if we let it through from a higher consciousness. That is for sure. I mean, look at the commercials they use. It's ridiculous, The complete fear-based commercials, it's just dumb, Now that I've always felt that, but, it's very manipulative. And they don't even tell you, like, wouldn't it be better if they just told us what they stood for rather than just bashing, using fear to bash the other person? Like, just tell me what you stand for in a commercial, They're like, yes, Let's see. Is there another layer of influence underneath what people call the Committee of 300? Oh, yes. So there's another layer. Would you consider that layer of an extraterrestrial source? Yes. Okay. So is there another human layer underneath what people call the Committee of 300? No. So there's a non-human layer that is controlling the Committee of 300? Yes. Okay. Would you put this group on the lower vibration area of the galaxy, the universe, Yes. What am I looking for? Not only the galaxy or the universe, but just all of it. The whole, what am I looking for? I can't think of what the word would be. They're saying yes. 26. Are some people attributing too many unrelated events to the Committee of 300? No. Are you saying, lead team, that all events around the world can be attributed to the Committee of 300? Yes. Okay. And I mean, so I guess, well, you can't really attribute like a carnival to the Committee of 300. No. Okay. So let's be clear on what we mean about events. When it comes to power and influence, is it in political systems, the hierarchical structure, using money as the hierarchy, is that attributed to the Committee of 300? Yes. Okay. Are there individuals within this Committee of 300 who are generally trying to help humanity? Yes. Actually, within the Committee of 300 itself? Yes. Or the organizations underneath the Committee of 300? Yes. And in the government systems? Yes. Okay. And I think some people call them the white hats. Yes. So I did a video on white hats versus black hats, so just so you know that. Okay. I was going to ask something, and it left my brain. Are there countries where the influence attributed to the Committee of 300 is weaker? No. So they pretty much have organized and ruled over the entire globe of humanity for a long time. Yes. Is the Committee of 300 pushing society towards a more centralized future? Yes. Is that a good thing? No. Okay. Not a good thing. Because we are looking for decentralized. Yes. Is that even possible now with AI to be decentralized? Is that going to be possible? Yes. Is it more possible with AI? I don't see how, but is it more possible with AI to be decentralized? Yes. Oh, because we can get the information we need individually. We don't need to rely on, yep. Okay. We don't need to rely on who we thought were experts before. We can just use AI now. Yes. Okay. Will old systems dismantle themselves if enough people stop participating in them? Yes. Yes, we'll just leave. Are new systems of influence being created as older systems lose power? Yes. Are they being created at the same time? I would think so. Even us having these conversations is creating new ideas, right? And even that is like divine spark. It's just like a divine spark of an idea. And every discussion that's had, whether it be here or you sitting in a coffee shop with a friend, is creating. It's just creating. We're always creating, right? We just want to keep it towards the love end, rather than the fear end, right? Is humanity moving towards greater individual sovereignty? Yes, really wide swing on that. Wonderful. Is fear losing some of its effectiveness as a control mechanism? Yes, it is. Yay! Is discernment becoming one of the most important skills of this time? Wow. Yes. Yes, it is. And that's why I think the more you know, the more you can discern at least. That's why we have to at least read the books so you can discern, you know. You're using discernment right now, no matter what they say, the lead team says. You use your own discernment. Absolutely. Is humanity being asked to focus less on hidden groups and more on its own choices? Yes. Yes, it is. But would we be able to do that if we didn't at least educate ourselves as to what's been going on? No. Okay. So yeah, we are going to be asked to stop focusing so much on hidden groups, right? But we had to focus on them to even know that they were there. And some of you were some of you have known that for 20 years. Not me. I didn't know it for 20 years. So I'm behind the 8 ball. And I think my role right now is to bring people along with me who have been behind the 8 ball too. And that doesn't mean that that's bad. It's just we've been doing other things, you know. And our calling, our life plan was to be where we were at that time, right? Just got major goosebumps. So, you know. So I think just trusting, like I really follow my intuition like 100% with this community. Like I literally do what I am being, and it's really has to do with where my interest is. If I don't have an interest in something, I can't do it. If I do a call out on something, it's because I have an interest in it. It's been planted in my being to have a conversation about it. So I've really been trusting that and trusting how it's been unfolding. Now that may not be how it would unfold for you, but I'm trusting that it's bringing along anyone who needed to be brought along at the same pace that I've been brought along in, you know? And so that might be not work for everybody, right? So that's why I'm very chill when it comes to people coming and going out of the community. I'm just very chill about it, which is very unusual for my personality and my feeler to be chill about something like that. But that's just how I've done that from the very beginning. I'm just trusting that whatever I'm talking about is what needs to be discussed with whoever is here now, you know? So, which is why, you know, that card we got a month ago that I keep talking about, truth is different at different levels of consciousness. And the last part of that message was do not judge or release judgment or something. That's why we don't want to judge each other, because even people are sitting all day, every day in front of Fox News, you know, because that truth is different at different levels of consciousness, you know, and maybe if that's a baby boomer who's doing that and they're in their 80s, maybe that's what they have the energy for at this point. Give them a break, man. They've been, you know what I mean? That's, you know, do you have to hang around with them? No. But, you know, let's be gentle. You know, they did other things, very loving, I'm sure, many things to bring humanity along at some point, you know, or whatever they did with their lives, you know, they were meeting their life plans. So, okay, just a few more questions. So I like the discernment one. That's really good. Are humanity's biggest obstacles now internal as much as external? Yes. And that really goes, even again, go listen to the message from the Supreme Leader. of Iran. It's really, really good. Are humanities, okay, I just asked that, is consciousness itself becoming the real battleground? Wow. Yes, if we must use the word battleground. Is consciousness itself becoming the real battleground? That kind of makes sense. Again, truth is different at different levels of consciousness. And the higher our consciousness, the Committee of 300 is used to us not having high consciousness, basically, you know. Would you say that's true, that the Committee of 300 has been comfortable because we have been living in a lower consciousness? Yes. And so the battle really is with consciousness, with trying to, because they're losing ground because we are becoming much more conscious of what's going on. Yes. Okay. Which then gives us the opportunity to discern and to bow out of things that we don't want to support anymore, or didn't realize we were supporting before. Yes. Okay. Is awareness more important than blame? Is awareness more important than blame when understanding power structures? Yes. Yes, it is. Is humanity more powerful than it realizes? Yes. Is humanity more powerful in 2026 than it was in 2025? Yes. Does humanity continue to get more powerful every day that we are living here on Earth? Yes. Okay, so are we, and I mean by powerful, more highly conscious? Yes. Is humanity moving deeper into love and less into fear? Is that the trajectory that we are on? Yes. So every day, is it safe to say that every day the scale gets heavier on the love end and weaker on the fear end for humanity? Yes. Has that always been the case? No. So we have tipped the scale? Yes. Is that what allowing humanity to move to the 5D, because we have tipped the scale? Yes. Okay. Very cool. Was there a chance that we could have just hung out in the fear much, much longer on Earth? Yes. So good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Is the Committee of 300 really controlling everything? Or do humans sometimes give powerful groups more credit than they deserve? That's 2 questions. And that is Mabel's ha-ha question. I always tell her to give me like a funny question at the end. That's her attempt. Okay, let me break that one down. Is the Committee of 300 really controlling everything? Okay, they are confirming yes. So kind of interesting. And, is it worth our time to at least learn enough about this organization or this group? Okay, yes, and that they picked up the energy on that swing there. I could feel it. So they are saying yes, obviously, use your discernment. Do humans sometimes give powerful groups more credit than they deserve? Yes. Well, should I say, are we giving the Committee of 300 more power, more credit than it deserves? Yes. Okay, well then, if we focus on them by learning about them, are we giving them more power? Are we giving our power away by focusing on them? Okay, they're saying no. Is there a point we could give our power away by focusing too much on them? Yes. but there's a level you want us to be quote unquote educated about? Yes. Okay. I think it's just so you can use discernment. I mean, how do you discern something if you don't know about it? Like, I had no idea about this whole thing. So, all right, you guys, that was interesting. Thank you for the questions, and let me know what you thought if you have additional questions. And I am going to do a pendulum reading next with John Coleman because I think that will be interesting. So if you want to pop up to one of the Supreme Leader videos, I'll pop here and here. So click on one of those and you can watch that next. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.